Hey everybody, it's Cam. Welcome to the channel. It's Sunday, February 28th, and we're going to look at some market futures and some potential earning plays for this upcoming week. Earnings season's picking back up this week with some big names like Target, Costco, and others. But in this video, we're going to look at Nio, Workhorse, and Inovio on Monday, Fubo on Tuesday, and then on Thursday, Smile Direct Club and Turtle Beach here. So all those tickers will be tagged in the description. If you're interested in seeing one, feel free to skip ahead to them. And first, we will start with ES Mini 500 futures. You know, futures came out an hour ago, exactly an hour ago. Right now, it's 4 p.m. here on the West Coast. Excuse me, but you see, we did gap up on the futures from 38.08 in the 38.20s. 38.25 and this 50 acted as resistance right away on the 5-minute chart, but we pushed higher, got above this 200. And if we look at the hourly here, this 22 has kind of been a consolidation area all of Friday. All right, so a lot of the closes of these hourly candles are close to it here. We're going either side of it, but down in this range, staying around it. But we got Wiki up above this 50, so I think the 50 is really what is acting as resistance right now. So we'll see if the futures into this evening, night, and then into the morning tomorrow, if we can push this 38.50 level, and then from there, we could go 38.60, move up pretty quick. So it's up. Futures are up right now, 28 basis points, so close to 0.75%. Or I should just look at the top right there. It's 0.7, but obviously, the House COVID bill was passed, and then we'll have to wait and see if it can get through the Senate this week. But can't trust Washington to do anything timely, so we'll have to see whether or not those $1,400 stimmy checks get out to all the retail investors and throw them into their meme stocks. So we'll see if the downtrend is going to be ended this upcoming week, or if it will push lower, because if long-term charts do look kind of bearish, they get some support here on the 50, close back above that 50 fib right on it, so we could push back up into these moving averages. This is right at that 38.60 level, so on a daily, so we can go try that again probably on Monday on the open, and then we'll have to see if we can roll over, see if it rolls over or if it breaks through and gets back up into its uptrending channel. And then right now, let's just real quick just go look at Bitcoin. Let me find the button to switch it over. So Bitcoin broke down over the weekend, came down here, touched into the 43K area. So if we zoom out a little bit, there's not this big move right here, pushes up into that 43K area, and we go to the daily. If this downtrend continues, it looks like we could get back down in here to 41. So right here at the high 42K, put a big wick on it, high 41.4, closed in the low 40Ks. So could see another move down lower, and that's going to affect all those crypto stocks going into the week. Let's go back to Thinkorswim and look at Nio. Or excuse me, let's go to Workhorse first because it had earnings before the open on Monday. So last week, Workhorse kind of got crushed on the news that the USPS contract wasn't going to them. That's basically been the whole reason why the stock price is going up since basically last summer, when it was supposed to come out in September. Never came out, just delayed, and then the news came out on Tuesday. Then Wednesday, Thursday, you get two green candles right here. There's rumor news that several congressmen were going to dispute that contract award, but we get a kind of indecision bar on Friday. So the earnings are going to come out first thing tomorrow morning. So it'll be interesting to see what they have to say about their future outlook on revenue. I mean, really, they have a 10% ownership of Ride. That could be all they have right now. So it'd be interesting to see what their future guidance holds for the company. And let's go to Nio. So I've obviously another electric vehicle company, and in China. It's rolled over and broke out of this, ascending trend channel a couple weeks ago when all the EV plays had dropped, Tesla included. Tesla was probably the leader that dropped them. But last week, sold off real hard on Tuesday, hit this 61 fib down here right about 42, and then buyer stepped in, pushed this thing right back up to 52 the next day. But big selling pressure came in on Thursday. Didn't like this 9. EMA sent it lower. So I think Nio's earnings are going to be heavily focused on its, deliverables. They released numbers in January, but I'm sure they'll update it. They want to see like a rapid increase change for the Chinese market as a whole. It's supposed to explode, and they're going to have to be able to increase production quite a bit to meet demand. And then we'll see if they get any like incentives or bonuses from the CCC party, because they have a interested stake in the company. But if the market doesn't like it, I think you could see it, potential bottoming out here down in these low 40 areas. There's some consolidation, the 42s again. So we'll see if this 61 fib can hold long term. If we get positive news, market reaction, probably go up and try to test this 52 level again pretty quickly. And then we'll go to INO, so one letter different on the ticker, but Inovio Pharmaceuticals. So it's popped recently on COVID news, but it's rolled over, sold off this last couple weeks. This thing can move pretty quickly as we go zoom out. So 3 to 33, back in March to July on the initial COVID-19 news. Kind of sold off, been consolidating down here, between like $9, $13, basically since September. Poked out of it beginning of February, February 1st, moved the last week of January. This was a pretty heavily shorted stock as well. But right now, the moving averages are acting as resistance, so we're under all 4 of them right now, so that's not a great sign for a bullish case. But any positive news on how many doses they can get out to the public will, if it's positive, the market reaction is positive, that they can get enough to meet the demand and needs of the public, could send this thing up higher quickly. As you know, there's you just have a couple wicks here, a couple high volume spots. Come on. But so if we do get some positive sentiment, we're going to need some volume to get through this $12 range. And if the news is not good, we could fall all the way back down here until a 9 to get some consolidation as there is less volume on the histogram lower. So next we'll go to Fubo. They have earnings on Tuesday after hours. So big run since its inception here back in May. Ran to 62, sold off real hard. This is another heavily shorted stock, pretty popular on Reddit, pretty popular on Twitter. I've seen different things talking about that their ad revenue is the highest out of basically sector wide in these streaming cable service sector, if that's what you want to call it. But so there is several things floating around talking about their positive potential. I know several people that use the service, they like it. That doesn't necessarily mean anything, but could positive demand. Netflix, more people streaming, more people looking at different services. I think it's only could continue on an upward trajectory long term, but currently chart is pretty bearish, right? So we rolled over, try to consolidate here on the 22 and the 9, but fell below, and then again moving averages acting as resistance. Consolidated around the 50 for a couple days this last week. Big red candle on Thursday sent it lower, and then kind of a doji indecision bar on Friday going into the earnings. So just positive. If we get a positive market reaction on the earnings, if we can get through this 35, 36 area, we can definitely go test $40 again pretty quickly. If it's negative, looks like the base is going to be down here in this $28 range. 30 will probably act as like a natural level just because it's got the 0 on it, but 28 is where a lot of the volume is concentrated. for it. And then let's make this quicker. We'll skip lumber liquidators. I looked at lumber liquidators just because the price of wood and commodities has skyrocketed in the last couple of months, and they could potentially make a move off that with their earnings statement. But we'll go to Smile Direct Club. I thought I typed it in, did not. So Smile Direct Club kind of been in an upward trajectory since a year ago when the pandemic started. But tests one side of the range, comes back over, but we're steadily putting in higher lows. So you can basically draw an upward channel right here, kind of testing it, bouncing off it again. So we'll see if they can put out some good earnings. You see the earnings from November, pretty positive off that pretty significant move, 9 up to almost $12, so 33% move off the earnings there. So this thing could potentially move, but again, just like about every stock we've looked at the last 2 weeks, because the 2 weeks the market as a whole has been selling off, we're underneath these moving averages, but we did bounce off the 200, so we could try to test that 200 again, and then look to push back up through these downtrending EMAs. And as you can see, there is a lot of volume consolidating right here in the $11 to $12 range, upper 11s. So it could form a base right here. Positive news, send this thing higher. The volume acts as a launch pad, and we'll send this thing up. So those are the main stock earnings that I am looking at, and we'll be waiting on this upcoming week for potential plays. Just because they have earnings doesn't mean that they will necessarily be volatile or not, but it's just something to look at and be focused on. I think still Monday morning focus is going to be, I don't want to touch my face so much, geez, will be AMC, just to see the market reaction, whether it gaps up or not. Thank you for viewing that video yesterday. It was the highest viewed video I've had. But that's all I got for you guys this weekend. Hope you guys had a great weekend. And if you got anything for me, let me know in the comments. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.